Today, I'm going to review an album by the band Wytch Hazel. This is a band that I discovered right around the time I started my channel back in September of 2020. They had an album coming out called 3 Pentecost. It was one of my first album reviews on this channel, and now they have a follow-up called 4 Sacrament, so let's talk about it. Wytch Hazel is an English hard rock and heavy metal band. They originated in 2011. Originally, the band went with the name Jerusalem, but that was already taken. The band is currently signed to Bad Omen Records. They have released several albums, including their latest one titled 4 Sacrament, released on June 2nd, 2020. They like to describe themselves as existing in the parallel universe where the new wave of British heavy metal happened 600 years early. This band has many different components to their sound. On the one hand, they have this folk rock sound that can be compared to Jethro Tull. They also have a little bit of that 70s hard rock edge comparable to bands like Wishbone, Ash, and Thin Lizzy. And they even turn it up in times and channel sounds of the new wave of British heavy metal. Founding member Colin Hendra states that Iron Maiden is one of the band's influences. Alex Haslam, or as they call him, Big Al, he confirmed that other influences included Led Zeppelin, Wishbone, Ash, and Jethro Tull. Several reviewers have compared this band to other artists like Blue Oyster Cult, Thin Lizzy, and Deep Purple. The current members of Wytch Hazel are Colin Hendra on guitar and vocals, Alec Haslam on guitar, Andrew Shackleton on bass, and Aaron Hay on drums. According to the band, they felt that this album, being their fourth, is a big challenge. They wanted to both expand their sound without straying too far away from it. This band has been releasing albums consistently since 2016 with their debut Prelude, followed by 2018's 2 Sojourn, then the aforementioned 3 Pentecost in 2020, and now 4 Sacrament. They felt that this album was a challenge. So to quote the singer and the guitarist Colin Hendra, this album has been a trial. Colin continued to say, it was exhausting, working full-time, trying to be a dad and husband, running the band, writing the albums, and being a complete control freak. So here's a quote from Angry Metal Guy, who gave a 3.5 out of 5. Wytch Hazel should be more widely known with several high-quality releases already to their credit. Add 4 Sacrament to the list, as it is a joy to experience. It's a bit mellower and softer than 3 Pentecost, and there's a decline on the back half, but damn, that first half is so good. Kind of an interesting quote, because later on, I'm going to kind of say the opposite. I actually like the second half better, but let's talk more about this band. According to the band, they're not a Christian band. There's one believer in its lineup, vocalist and guitarist Colin Hendra. So let me read another quote from Colin. He says, I'm a Christian in a heavy metal band. I don't see it as Wytch Hazel as a Christian heavy metal band. I mean, in our band we have Neil is a Roman Catholic. I'm more Protestant, and Josh is agnostic, atheist. So for me, it's just about doing normal stuff while having a Christian voice or influence. Okay, so now the part of the video where I talk about the songs. I'll just go through the tracks quickly. There's 10 of them, so let's talk about them. Opening track, Defies Control, has harmonized guitars. These can be heard throughout the song with power chords in the verses. Song's a rocker, some good melodies. I like the second half of the song. It sounded kind of like the band Ghost. Kind of a strange comparison, but I actually think this band kind of sounds like Ghost at times. And then Angel of Light has a faster beat with more harmonized guitars and verses with a thick bass sound and power chords. There are lead guitar melodies and melodic vocals. The sound is rounded out with some keyboards as well, some softer parts in the second half of the song. Time in Doubt is another melodic rocker. I thought this one had a nice drum beat. Song had a more of a 70s rock feel. Like other songs, had guitar harmonies and a nice melodic guitar solo. Strong Heart, I think this might be like one of my favorites. I think this was a single. Had this guitar riff in the intro, reminded me of an 80s hard rock Another one that reminded me of Ghost. Song has some really great melodies and vocal harmonies, and I like the crisp and clean sound, and the guitar solo was very melodic. And Deliver Us is a slower one that it kind of brings back the 70s rock sound. It's one of the catchier songs. I thought the acoustic bridge was pretty good. It had more of a folk rock sound, followed by a melodic guitar solo. 1,000 Years was enjoyable. It had some galloping guitars in the rhythm and melodic vocals. The drums sounded very good here, and I liked the folky breakdown section. Gold Light was a short instrumental. It sounded like something from a movie soundtrack with like violins, marching band drums, and flutes. Endless Battle has a guitar riff, reminded me of that song Hocus Pocus by Focus. I like the song a lot. I think this might be like one of my, maybe my second favorite. I think it had more like laid back acoustic guitars, and the chorus had more of a hard rock sound, and the song was very like medieval in nature. Lyrics about fighting a battle. It was a cool song. Just captured the essence of those times. Future is Gold is an acoustic ballad. It has some this like folk music, sitting in a forest, like Lord of the Rings type of sound. It was pretty cool. I like how they added a ballad towards the end of the album. The song features like orchestration and an unplugged type of sound. And Digging Deeper is the final track. This one had like the 70s like prog rock sound. It still kept with the main sound of the album. This one had some heavier guitar chords and riffs, and the melodic harmonized guitar melodies. The bass guitar sounded very good on this one. They had some softer parts in the song as well. I also felt that the song had one of the best solos on the album. It's the longest song, the most progressive, and something I would like to see them do in the future. So I think this is a band that deserves some more attention. They're bringing back that 70s rock sound mixed with some folk music. They also have like this medieval sound to them. I think if you're a fan of hard rock from the 70s, or even like power metal, because I know they do that kind of like folk metal or fantasy types of lyrics, similar. I think you can get into this band. They're not very well known. I've been following them since 2020. I thought the album was good. Actually, I like the second half better than the first half. I mean, the first half was kind of like the more harder rocking side, but I think in the second half they experimented a little more with their sound. And for example, I like that last track, Digging Deeper. They kind of went more like a progressive rock direction. It's kind of like something like I would like to see this band doing more like progressive rock. I think it would be cool, like to see them live and have them do a cover song of something like King Crimson. I think that would be pretty cool for this band. I don't know if they're into that, but that's just my opinion. So my score is going to be an 8 out of 10. Let me know in the comments what you thought. I respond to comments. Please subscribe if you haven't as well, and if you want to see my previous album review of 3 Pentecost, I'll put that right there. You can check it out. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.